According to the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, the unemployment benefits currently cost the federal government in the neighborhood of $6 to $7 billion a month, with the price tag coming down as the economy improves and the unemployment rate drops. But as many families still depend on this benefit that were extended during the recession, in his new budget plan, President Obama called for suspending for 2 years the interest payments states must make on their federal unemployment loans. But it then would raise the unemployment tax on employers responsible for paying back the federal money. How much of an impact could this have for everyone? On the federal deficit, on the states that are nearly bankrupt, and on the still struggling entrepreneurs? And here's one of those rubber meets the road questions. Your heart goes out to people who've exhausted their unemployment benefits. I mean, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? But states that have to pay this based on the unemployment taxes that employed people pay say, well, we can't afford to pay this either. That's a real problem, isn't it, Ann?
I think so, but that's again why I think we need to be investing in programs that are alternative ways of engaging people in pathways to work and alternative types of ways to earn a living. So national service being a great example of that. Applications to national service programs grew from 360,000 a year ago to more than 530,000 in one single year, which is a huge jump. And we believe, and we have heard anecdotally from lots of folks, that that's because they need these alternative pathways to work. They need to be able to build skills. They need to be able to build their resumes in this interim period.
And right now they can't find jobs in the private economy.
That's right.
Well, what do you do, Alicia? I mean, this is a tough one.
But this is a great example of what Andrew was talking about earlier, which is the federal government being able to offer states some measure of reprieve when it comes to their state budgets. I mean, this is the federal government doing exactly what the federal government should be doing, which is taking a little bit of that heat off states so that they can continue to offer what you have to believe are very important benefits.
States by law, many of them, can't run a deficit.
Right.
Federal government can print money.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, the Federal Reserve is buying upwards of $1 trillion worth of Treasury debt to keep long-term interest rates low. They think that we're really in a state of crisis. Ben Bernanke is terrified of the state of the economy. Take a lesson from him. In terms of the unemployment insurance situation at the state level, states have borrowed about $40 billion from the federal government. Extending the 2-year moratorium on interest payments on that makes a lot of sense because state budgets lag behind the federal budget. As you mentioned earlier, a lot of states rely heavily on property tax for their revenue stream, and the housing market is still in the doldrums and will be for some time. Give it 2 years, the state revenue situation will improve, and they won't have to make cuts as soon. If you don't extend the moratorium, you're going to see really, really bad state-level cuts to unemployment. Already, we've seen Michigan. Michigan's about to vote to reduce their state-level unemployment insurance program from a maximum of 26 weeks to 20 weeks. In Michigan, the auto industry was forced into bankruptcy, has had one of the highest unemployment rates for the entire recession. They're in terrible shape.
But there's a place where conservative economists say, here's the problem. If you extend unemployment, if you make it easier for states to continue to pay, people will not move to places in the country where there are jobs. People won't give themselves a cut in pay by taking not the job that they really want, but the job that they can get, and just start earning a lower salary. They'll keep on looking for a job at their own wage because we're paying them money to do that.
Well, I would actually disagree with that. First off, unemployment insurance is not just a social safety net. It's economic stimulus, and about as good as it gets. Mark Zandi of Moody's Analytics estimates that you create $1.57 worth of economic activity for every dollar you put into UI. So if the federal government's spending $6-7 billion a month, they're creating $10 billion worth of GDP growth through that borrowed money.